Hey, Katie.
Hey, Peter, how are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you. So we wanted to get together because we just did an event together recently that it was a roundtable, and the title of this event was "Building Teams for What's Next: Human Judgment and AI Speed." And I really, really enjoyed doing it with you. I think our guests had a great time, and we always tell our clients that after they do an event like the one we just did, they should always do a diagnostic. They should always examine what worked, what didn't work, and what would they do differently in the future. And so that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to get on camera and just talk about the event that we did. So can you start us off by telling our audience here, why did we pick the topic that we did, and why did we pick the format that we did? Why a roundtable?
Well, why a roundtable? Because we wanted to have a discussion. Because we've that format. I loved actually. This was your description of it. Is it's like a dinner party. Like we get to invite different people that we think will make for an interesting conversation because we wanted to have like lots of different perspectives in the room. We wanted to have different experience with AI, but ultimately we wanted to have a group of curious people that would dive in and have a growth mindset in talking about the subject. So that's why we like the format. And I think we both know this. We're invited to lots of different things, and some events feel very prescriptive, and that you're being told something and that you're supposed to walk away with this specific thing. And I think for us, we wanted it to be a great conversation, but also that we've got some experience in working with teams with AI, and so we also wanted to share, hey, here's a success, here's a way that we've used it, here's something that we use and we do, and so that it kind of had both of those parts to it. So that was kind of why we love this format. um and it's fun, and
Yeah.
it's with people that we really like, so that's, hey, we want to do that. But I think the topic specifically is just it's in the water and it's in the air all the time. Whether it's with my teenager who's telling me about, goth AI that he's using for his homework. I'm like, what is that? I got to, everything is moving so fast, to also, the work that we've done together in designing workshops, in delivering workshops, and how it's being brought into everything that we do. And we're hearing from clients like how and why. And so, it's front of mind. That's why this specific subject.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack there. I think we are using it and talking about it so much, and being very intentional about where it fits within the process. We're the one of the as we were striking that balance between great dinner party conversation and giving our guests something actionable that they could leave with. You actually found a great article from Harvard Business Review that we
Yeah.
sent out as homework ahead of time, and it really, I think, talked about success and what leaders need to do to successfully work with their teams around AI. Because I think, we're hearing so many individual success stories about people that are within organizations that are embracing these tools, and it gives them superpowers and they feel like Superman or Wonder Woman. And what we really want to make sure that we're not losing sight of is we love people. We love working with teams of people and getting in rooms with people to have them hash something out and figure something out and get to that goal together. And if we don't figure out how to bring the whole team along with these new tools, with this revolution, then we risk the team diminishing. And I think we want to make sure we don't do that. Can you talk a little bit about the article and what it had to say, the metaphors that it used of success with AI on a team level?
Yeah, I think the core thesis of the article is that technical capability alone isn't enough, and that actually we need these deeply human skills in order to really push it to its real value. So you need judgment and empathy and communication and ethical reasoning, adaptability to really like unlock the full value of AI. And so, really, to me, like when a key takeaway was that AI just doesn't replace leadership. it raises the bar for leadership. Like these two have to be in unison. So when we're thinking about leadership, then we're thinking about teams, right? And so like, how do you bring this into a team? How do you set teams up for success? You think about AI as the bottom of in the article they talked about it being a summit, and so it was a lot of analogies of climbing, and so you thought about AI as being the gear, of being the equipment that you need in order to climb the summit, but the team also then needs to be have empathy for each other, keeping an eye on bringing everyone along. You need to be thinking about what's as it changes in the moment. Like you got to keep like checking. It doesn't mean that you're the weather conditions are one of the things that they said. Like you set off with it weather in a certain way, and then it's going to change. And so, like I loved that we really got into like what is the human part, and and that's my love language, like emotional intelligence and change management and all of that good stuff. And so it was just it really brought those two worlds together, and the article told a story. And so for me, I was like, I'm not super techie. That then didn't feel um that I was left out of the conversation, but it made me really lean into that conversation. And so that's why we chose it.
Yeah, and I thought it did a great job of positioning the role of AI as the equipment. It is, but it is not the thing that is going to get the team to the top, but it's important. But and just like any tool, the climbers are the ones responsible for the condition of the equipment. We've had the experience, you and I, when we use AI to put together workshops that we've done. Some things it's great at, and some things it fails spectacularly. But at the end of the day, it's the buck stops with the humans as to which tool they're selecting for which individual task. And I think that is something that modern leaders have to come to grips with. It's if you use software to work with your team, and I don't know anybody that doesn't in modern America,
Yeah.
then you are you are going to have access to some form of generative AI in that software. It's just coming into everything, whether you select it or not. And
Yeah.
so it's important to understand as a leader, even more, knowing how to guide the team and knowing when to trust your gut, knowing when to not, rely on the hook and kind of make that leap of faith. So I think there was just so much that worked as a metaphor to set it up. And, I think in the second half of our dinner party, we really wanted to share some of the human centric things that we've done in workshops to get people to not be afraid of the technology or to not feel like that they were too far behind. Before we even shared examples of team AI tools, we just said, here's how we got people to agree upon the tasks that they're doing as a team together and which of them they thought might be a candidate for AI. So I think it's starting with the humans, starting with the team. That's one of the reasons I love working with you, is because we're not looking at the tool for the tool's sake. We're looking at it to maximize the tool and make sure that the team is what celebrates and wins.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that there was something that came from this group as well around, like you have to have curiosity and learning agility, right? And that matters way more than expertise. You didn't have to be, and I think that you've helped me get there as well. And AI is evolving just so rapidly that actually, like this need for static knowledge becomes obsolete, and that like we just have to be in a continuous learning mindset, and we got to
Yeah,
learn and adapt and try something new and ask questions, and all of those skills become more and more valuable. That it's not that that fixed mindset of I do this, I'm trained at that, and it's shifting into always being like, how do I do this, how do I do that, da, da, da. And
yeah,
so like staying in that mindset. And I'm aware that you and I could talk about this for forever. And we just I think what I'm hearing is the format worked, the topic was right, and that we want to do more of them. I mean, that's kind of where
yeah.
the diagnostic leads me to. Would you say the same?
I would, and I think you've really hit the nail on the head of what this format does best. Is it's not about sharing domain expertise of this is the answer, but it's about making space for a group of curious individuals who want to come together to figure out how to pivot more effectively, because that is the name of the game. It's making decisions by the seat of your pants when you see there's a new model that came out, or there's a new software, or all of a sudden there's a different value proposition being placed on domain expertise, which is really scary to a lot of people. But
Yeah.
if you know that your leaders are committed to bringing everybody along and finding a place in this new world, like that confidence, I think, is really important for people to hear.
Yeah.
So
So
let's do more.
let's do more. What do we want from the folks that have like clicked in and listened to this video?
Well, if you've watched this video to this point, first of all, thank you. We're going to link some of the articles that we talked about, some of the resources in below this video so that you can read them. We'd love to hear what you thought about them. We'd love to hear if you want to join us in the future. If you have topics that you want to suggest, please send them our way, because we really want to continue this train, and we'd love to have you in the room with us.
Yeah. Come have dinner with us.